Welcome back. If this is your first time here on this channel and you experience any kind of issues with playback, please check out the link in the description to my mirrored account on BitChute.com, redpill_McKenzie. Now, in today's video, we're continuing on with the high-level resignations. We're now in week 4 plus of February 2018, talking CEOs, CFOs, COOs, heads of state, police chiefs, you name it. Now, where do I get these names from? Well, I get them from a site called resignation.info, maintained by Resignation Anon. And despite the meme I just showed you, it's important to know that there are a lot of good people on this list. Not everyone on this list is a bad person, and not everyone will be indicted, nor should you spread the word like that. So if you want to know who's been indicted, go ahead, check out the indictments on there. There's a link on that website. And also, it's important to know that the number of people with a new job on the list is not very accurate. Well, why? They tried to track that information only some weeks ago. And to get a more accurate number, well, we need some help. If you have the time and you want to go to the website and do some research, if you find anything, whatever you discover, I'm sure if you offer it up to Resignation Anon, he'll be more than happy to add what you found to the list. Also, there's a resignation show every other Sunday that goes over the most recent 2 weeks of resignations. So you want to make sure you don't miss that. It's on 1 p.m. Eastern US or 7 p.m. German time, hosted on a channel called In Real Life News. I will provide the link in the description to their channel and resignation.info. Make sure you subscribe and ring the bell for their notifications so you don't miss the next show. The next show, when is it? January 20th. Mark your calendars. I'll try to remind you at the end of the video. Now, that all that's been covered, let's get to the list of week 4. We have the CEO from the National Bank of Oman, the CEO and president to Brookdale Senior Living in Tennessee. You have the deputy director to UNICEF in the U.S., Justin Forsyth. We have State Senator Tony Mendoza from the California Senate for over a sexual harassment investigation. We have State Senator Nicholas Kettle from Rhode Island. President Steve McInnes from the District Council of Carpenters, U.S. We have the CEO from the Boys and Girls Club of Fremont County, Colorado, Terry Hamilton. You have the Director of Safe Sport and the Director to USA Swimming, Susan Wessner and Pat Hogan. Susan was fired because she had a conflict of interest when she was involved with the sexual abuse investigation of the U.S. national team coach Sean Hutchinson because of an alleged intimately personal relationship with the coach. Pat was also fired. You have officer from Broward County Sheriff's Office of Florida, Scott Peterson. He was the armed police officer on duty at the Florida school incident. Minister of European Affairs. I called it an incident so it wouldn't be censored. Anyway, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and European Integration of Montenegro, Alexander Adrija Pejovic. After the country's anti-corruption agency discovered he was holding 2 positions and receiving an additional income. We have the board member to the Education Reality Trust, Inc. in the U.S. We have the president to the Tezos Foundation in Switzerland, the deputy CEO of Computime Group Limited from China. We have the chairman to Tegna Inc. in the U.S., retired. We have a board member to Rada Electronic Industries Limited in Israel, retired. We have the director to Exploration Inc., Arizona Silver Exploration Inc. in Canada. We have the Deputy Prime Minister to the Australian government, Barnaby Joyce, amid a sex scandal. We have the CEO, Goulburn Ovens Institute of TAFE, GOTAFE from the US. We have the CEO from Incorp BHD in Malaysia. We have the CFO from Renasola Limited in China. You have the police chief from fire chief from Newcastle Fire Department in Pennsylvania, Eric Lee Perry. You have a police chief from Lyman Police Department in Wyoming, Tom Clark. You have the editorial board members, all 48 members from the Building Research and Information, to protest the publisher's decision to replace the editor-in-chief. It was in protest. We have the chairman to the Earthquake Commission of New Zealand, Martine Weavers. We have the chairman and director to Barron Oil PLC in the UK. We have a board member to the Kraft Heinz Company in the US, Warren Buffett, retired. We have an undefined leadership role for the Republican Governors Association in the US for Eric Greitens. A Missouri grand jury handed up a one-count indictment on that Thursday back then, accusing the 43-year-old governor of Missouri of felony invasion of privacy stemming from the March 21st, 2015 incident. We have the Deputy Secretary to the Department of Homeland Security in the U.S., Elaine Duke, retired. We have the Energy Minister to the Bulgarian government, TP, allegations of non-transparency. We have the CEO to QVC Inc. in the U.S., Tad Jaskrobski. We have the CFO from Park Ridge, New Jersey. Same-day counsel considered firing him. We have the CFO to Samco Timber Limited in Singapore. The CFO to Yentech Investment Holdings, China. The Deputy Director to UN AIDS in Switzerland, accused of sexual assault. We have the CEO to Platinum Asset Management Limited in Australia. We have the President to Kellogg's in the US, Paul Norman, retired. We have a co-CEO and a CFO from DCM in the US. We have a CEO from St. James Mercy Hospital in the US. We have the CEO from the 99 cents only stores in the US, Jeffrey Covert, retired. We have the CEO and president to Art Van Furniture in the US, Kim Yost, retired. The Secretary General to State Council in China, Yang Jing, fired during an investigation for disciplinary violations. We have the CEO and chairman to the Egyptian Media Group in Egypt. The CEO to Adani Vizhinjam Ports Limited in India. We have a board member from Bezek Israeli Telecommunications Company Limited in Israel. We have the CFO to Recipharm AB in Sweden. We have the CEO to the Vocus Group in Australia. The national head and the CMO to Aircel in India. The ambassador to North Korea for the U.S. State Department, Joseph Yun, retired. We have the president to the Polizei Berlin in Germany, fired. We have the health minister to Ontario, Eric Hoskins. The CEO to Advid Technology Inc. in the U.S. due to violations of company policies related to workplace misconduct. The CEO to Liberty Tax in the U.S., Ed Bruneau, fired. We have a board member from Molina Healthcare in the U.S. We have the Deputy Labor Minister to the Greek government, Rania A., fired, allegedly claiming a rent subsidy. We have the Economy and Development Minister from the Greek government, Dimitri P. We have the CEO from the NGO Coordination Board in Kenya. We have these two board members from Radisys in the U.S. A CEO and board member to the DHX Media in Canada. We have the chairman to the Election Assistance Commission in the United States, Matthew Masterson, fired. The director to Boxlight Corporation in the U.S. The Deputy Assistant Secretary to the U.S. Treasury Department, Dana Trier. The CEO and Director to Essentia in Australia. We have the Assistant Managing Director to the New York Times, Michelle McNally in the U.S., retired. We have the CEO to the Annexter International Inc. in the U.S., retired. The CEO and Chairman of Market Force Perth in Australia. The CEO to SeaWorld Entertainment in the U.S., Joel Manby. The CEO and President to Gastar Exploration in the U.S. The CEO to Lixus Limited in India. The CEO to Renew Schools U.S. We have the CEO to Leo Burnett in Australia. We have the CEO to Hillcorp Energy USA, Jeff Hildebrand. We have the CEO and President from Energy Recovery in the United States. We have the CEO to Progressive Impact in Malaysia. The CMO of Burberry in the UK, Sarah Manley. The Director to the University of Maryland Shore Regional Health in the US. The CEO to Aetna USA, Mark Bertolini. We have the CEO to Refining New Zealand in New Zealand. The CEO of Saudi Telecom in Saudi Arabia, Khalid Hussein Biari. The Director to Next Group in the UK, retired. We have the Chief to the Biltmore Forest Police Department in North Carolina, Chris Bedingfield. We have the Chief to the Onalaska Police Department in Wisconsin, Jeffrey Tronknick. We have the Assistant Commissioner to the Victoria Police Department in Australia, Brett Gurin. Posted crude and racist comments on internet chat sites. We have the Health Minister to the Maldives government, Dunya Mamoun, grieved by the arrest of her father, the island nation's longest-serving leader, after President Abdullah Yameen declared a state of emergency. We have the Deputy CEO to MMI Holdings Limited in South Africa. We have the Chairman to Royal University Teaching Hospital in the UK. We have the CEO to Ahold Delhaize in the Netherlands. We have a CEO and the CFO to Linksys Limited in India. We have the Chairman to Rothschild & Co. in France, David de Rothschild. His son Alexander will be taking over. We have the CEO to Vitamin Shop USA in the USA, Colin Watts, amid a continuing slump in sales. We have the Senior Communications Official to the White House, Josh Rafael. The Communications Director to the White House, Hope Hicks. The Chairman and the Director to Moroccan Group Inc. in Canada. We have the CEO and VP to Rent-A-Center in the U.S., Joel Musat. We have the head to the Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA in the U.S., George Neal. We have the CEO to the U.S. Olympic Committee, Scott Blackmun, after Nasser Fuhrer and the sexual abuse scandal encompassing the U.S. Olympics team. We have the CEO to Patrick Properties in the UK, the CEO and President to Esri Resources Limited in Canada, the CFO and the head of wholesale banking to the Credit Corp Limited company in Peru. We have the CEO to Salvatore Ferragamo SPA in Italy, Araldo Poletta. We have the Culture Minister from the Slovakian government, Marek Mederik. We have the General Counsel and Corporate Secretary to Square Inc. in the U.S., Hillary Smith. Well, that's what we've got closing out for February. And I've got many more names to come, of course. All the next weeks, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Don't forget to subscribe to In Real Life News channel. Remember, the link is in the description so you can do that, and hit the bell for notifications for them so you don't miss the next Resignation show on January 20th. And as always, if you like my video, please share, because sharing's caring. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to my channel and ring the bell for notifications so YouTube has no chance in getting my content, of giving you my content. That's how it's supposed to work, I believe. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I love you. This is Red Pill Mackenzie. God bless.